Hello, I'm Pete Torriello.
And I'm Maureen Torriello.
And it's time again for the Sonic Boomers Podcast. Episode number 70. And that means...
there are 69 other shows to check out besides this one.
That's right. And if you haven't heard it before...
it's new to you.
And this week's show is entitled, Two Girls Walk into a Diner.
And it's not a punchline.
No. it sure sounds like
a
it.
joke.
It sounds like, a horse walked into a bar and the bartender said, "Why the long face?"
Oh, boy. I think we're getting into the dad joke category now.
Why don't you explain how we even got onto this topic?
Well, we were at a diner. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And these two girls walk in, and at least one of them was applying for a job there as a server. They were, I would guess, they looked like they were maybe just getting out of high school and looking for a summer job. So the one girl that's looking for the job, she comes in and she's got tight pants. You could see every bulge and crack and what her underwear looked like practically. And she had a t-shirt on tied at the waist, so her belly showed. And this girl, not to be judgy or catty or anything, did not have the body for that kind of a look.
I didn't find her attractive.
Well, there you go. And then I guess she wasn't.
Yeah. Pete said no was no.
That's it. Yeah, he knows his stuff. But it was not, to me, I looked at her and I'm thinking, honey, you're not getting this job because of just your appearance alone.
Yeah.
But then after we were talking about it, I was like, I wonder if the standards have changed any, because I haven't obviously looked for that kind of a job in a long time, so I don't know. So we started talking about it, and that kind of spurred the interest in coming up with this podcast.
Because I was thinking, if you're going for a formal job, like an office job or a corporate job or something like that, certainly you want to. If you're a guy, you want to put on a nice suit, a tie. You want to look the part, as you say. You want to dress for the job
that you want,
not the job
that you
have or
right.
already had, which I probably should have done in my career.
And you want to match the culture of the place you're looking at. If you go into a place and everybody's wearing, suits, and you come in with a sweater or something, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. So I decided to look it up. If you're going for a job as a waiter or a waitress, or I guess server is the gender neutral term, or do they call it a serve now? Because they're shortening everything now.
I don't know.
So if you're going for that kind of a job, really, what is the appropriate thing to wear? Inquiring minds want to know. So what have you got?
Okay, well, it says, although you might think of casual attire or a uniform when you think of a server type job, preparing for the interview is still a formal process, regardless of what kind of a job you're looking for. Like any job, you might be able to dress more casually once you've been hired. But when you're interviewing stages, you have to be as professional as possible.
This, by the way, is taken from something called the Way Up Guide. And one point that they bring up is pick a conservative outfit that reflects your personal style. Now, if your personal style is like way over the top, I don't know what you're going to do.
If you're goth and
you may want to rethink it on the interview. You'll want to dress conservatively, even if you're interviewing for a casual restaurant. For men, this means clean, wrinkle-free khakis or slacks with a nice button-down shirt. For women, it means nice pants or a skirt and a blouse or casual dress. Stick with neutrals if possible, but do add personality to your outfit with a colorful but tasteful tie or scarf. It's important to remember that appearance does matter, especially when you're interviewing for client-facing positions.
And I think that's key. If you're talking about client-facing positions, that means that you're going to be in a position where your appearance and your demeanor represents the company or the owner of whatever it is that you are interviewing
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
So
you're
they're going to
in-
be looking for somebody
working
that's
in
not gonna-
public.
They're going to be looking for somebody that's going to represent them well and not embarrass them.
You become the face of the company.
Absolutely. The other thing that it says is to make sure that you're comfortable. And when you interview for a restaurant job, I didn't realize this, but many times it turns into more like an audition. They may throw something at you and say, "Show me what you got."
Yeah, here's a pad, here's a pencil.
Yeah.
Go out and take orders from those people over there
Yeah,
at table
go
6.
service that table and
Yeah.
see how you do. So because of that, you may have to dress in something a little bit more comfortable and less tight-laced than you would ordinarily think of for an interview, because you might have to be reaching over people, you might have to be stretching, carrying a tray or something like that, and you need to be able to be comfortable and show that you have something besides just what's on your resume.
Point number 3, wear the right shoes. You know that you'll be doing a lot of talking, walking, lifting, even potentially reaching over tables to retrieve items or clean tables. So think smart when it comes to your footwear. Although you typically won't be doing as much as usual on the day of the interview, the possibility does exist. So wear sensible, fashionable shoes. Avoid anything that may hinder your appearance, such as sandals. I looked at it. I thought it said sardines.
I thought you were laughing because we were teasing you last week about wearing socks and sandals.
Yeah, no, I just glanced down at
Yeah,
the sheet
yeah.
and it looked like
Sardines.
sardines.
Yeah, don't wear sardines
Yeah,
either.
sneakers or heels that are difficult to walk in. Learning how to dress for an interview is an experience in and of itself, and although it might sound a bit intimidating, they say, if you've never interviewed for a waiter or waitress position before, by following these tips, you're sure to start the interview off on the right foot and impress the hiring manager.
And ultimately, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You have to be impress them and make a lasting impression on them, because if they're looking at a lot of people, you want to stand out in a good way, that they remember you.
bottom line, at the end of the day, appearance still
It
matters.
certainly does.
Well, we hope that you enjoyed that. And that little tune means it's time for our Boomer Trivia Contest.
Yep.
Okay, these are taken from the Trivial Pursuit Baby Boomer Edition. Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, I have a question for you,
Okay.
and it comes from the RPM category,
Okay.
which means
It's like records.
it was a
music or
record.
something, right?
Okay. What followed 1, 2, 3, 4? Tell the people what she wore.
I know.
You do know
I
this?
do know this one.
The question actually contains an error, which I'll explain.
Okay.
Okay. What is it?
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Right you are. Right you are. By who sang it?
Oh, I don't
This
know.
is her Achilles heel.
If I remember the titles, I don't
Yeah.
always remember the artist. Brian Hyland.
Brian Hyland. That's right.
Whoa!
All right.
go
Now,
me.
yeah, don't think you're so smart. Now, what label was it on?
Arco.
No,
It was a yellow and white label.
it was a rainbow colored label.
Oh, if it's rainbow, then RCA. Okay, I give up.
Hyland.
Oh, okay.
Highland Records.
Was it his record company?
No,
Okay.
no, but it's just called Highland. The error in the question is I do not believe, as I recall, because this was the first 45 RPM record that I ever bought. When I was little Petey, and Mom took me to the Platypus record store in the Sayrewood Shopping Center, and I plunked down my, I think it was like 69 cents or something for a 45 RPM record. And it was Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. But it says here, 1, 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. I believe, I would bet money on this, it's 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. I don't think there's 1 in there. I don't think they counted off the 1. 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
know.
I don't know.
I could kind of hear it with the one, but
See, I'm hearing it without the one.
well, maybe you tuned it just a little bit
I
late.
have a deafness for ones, you see. You know what? When we get done with this show, I'm going to have to find the recording.
Oh, you know that.
And give it a listen, because that's going to drive me crazy.
Okay.
All right, so 1 point for you.
Okay.
Okay, hit me.
All right. What 1971 ABC series starred James Franciscus rather, as a blind insurance investigator? And this is from the TV category.
Oh, boy. James Franciscus. I think he used to be Mr. Novak at one time. That was another show that he did. Wow, I'm drawing a blank on this one.
Longstreet.
Yeah, I had no clue.
Oh, well.
Okay. Okay, do you want to go for a bonus round?
Okay.
All right, we'll do a bonus round. Here you go. I'm pulling this one also from the RPM category.
Okay.
Okay, Maureen. What colors were the cellophane flowers? I'm looking at your face, and it's you have that look that says, I know this.
No,
you
good.
don't?
Keep going.
What color were the cellophane flowers in the Beatles' Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Your answer, please.
Crimson.
Whoops. That is not a right answer.
Okay.
Yellow and green.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Got one for me?
Yeah. Okay. This is from the news category.
Okay.
What 1967 events did the Kerner Commission investigate? K-E-R-N-E-R. 1967.
Okay. Was that the Kerner
I'll
Commission
give you a clue. It's a very general thing. It's not a specific
incident?
incident.
Hit the button. I have no clue.
Race riots.
Okay. Yeah, I had no clue on that.
Sorry.
All right. Well, hey, listen, you can't win them all. Next week, another edition of the Sonic Boomers podcast. And we were talking about some ideas for next week's show.
Mm-hmm. And we may ask for some input from you guys. So
We want to talk about pets next week.
right.
Pets, and pets.
All things pet.
Yep. And which is better, dogs or cats? Now, I have my preferences,
And so do I.
and I will share them with you next week. And we're also going to talk a little bit about pets being a part of the family. What's a reasonable amount of money to spend on a pet that is very, very ill, maybe a terminally ill pet? And when is it time to maybe realize that it's time to say goodbye to that
We
pet?
also want to hear your other pet stories. We want to hear some of unusual pets you may have had.
Yeah, like we've had some crazy pets with our kids
I'm not
over
going
the
to tell
years.
you now.
Yeah.
You have to tune in next week. And also, some endearing pet stories, or maybe a heroic pet that you had. Anything related to pets.
Or
you
pets
would
that
like to
did some
share.
really cool tricks.
Okay, so any of that kind of stuff is what we're interested in, and we'll be talking about it next time.
So join us next week for another edition of the Sonic Boomers. I'm Pete Torriello.
And I'm Maureen Torriello.
Now, go out and make some noise.